licensed certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
Hey, Howard, what you doing up there?
Listen to this story about Swampy Jack and the Swamp Ape. You know, the Florida Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah, like Abominable Snowman at the Old Miracle Strip Amusement Park.
No, Clyde, like the Florida Bigfoot. They call it a Swamp Ape.
Right. Swampy Jack's One-Go Adventure in PCB has a ride called a Swamp Ape, like the Abominable Snowman, only turbocharged.
No, I'm listening to a story on YouTube about Swampy Jack and the Swamp Ape.
Right, Swampy Jack. That's his story and the reason he built his Swamp Ape ride.
Man, I love that Abominable Snowman. What was the song I used to ask for?
I remember you like Kickstart My Heart.
Yeah, that's it. What say we go to Swampy Jack's in Panama City and give it a whirl?
I hear he's got a mostly tame Swamp Ape there.
Oh, come on. You can't catch them, much less tame them. Why, they're the hide-and-seek world champion.
Swampy Jack's One-Go Adventure, 284 Powell Adams Road, Panama City Beach.
What does it take to live an uncommon life? Here's former Super Bowl winning coach Tony Dungy with today's uncommon moment.
Christ is the classic example of the role model we are called to be. A tour through Scripture reveals a Christ who was always finding people where they were and taking them where they needed to be. He was always seeking people who thought they were nobodies and making them into somebodies. Jesus is the example we're to follow, the person we were meant to be like. We won't reach perfection until we see him face to face, but we are called always to be moving in that direction. God didn't just glorify himself by sending Jesus into this world. If we will let him, he glorifies himself by sending Jesus into this world through us.
Tony Dungy, author of the popular Uncommon book series. More at CoachDungy.com. That's CoachDungy.com.
WVLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Haven. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat. The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Friday morning. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe along the beautiful Forgotten Coast. You can also watch, listen, live, share, comment, subscribe, all those good things on our social channels. That's Facebook, X, and YouTube. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. You can watch, listen live, or you can go back and watch the show after the fact. Of course, if you're on the radio, you can't watch, but that's why I'm here, because, it's what do they say, a face for a radio. I've heard that a few times in my life. But anyway, you can also download our free...
I tell myself that daily in the mirror when I wake up. Hey, boy, you got a face for radio.
You know what I've decided to do with this hairstyle that I have?
What's that?
I'm just going to keep letting the parts that grow as long as they possibly can, and just see what happens.
Just see what happens.
I told Beth that the other day. She's like, yes, you need to do that.
You're going to have your nice little skullet.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. out. So hey, you gotta deal with what they give you. So I'm gonna let it ride.
Exactly.
Maybe it'll go long enough where I can like comb it over to the front.
Oh, that would be so good.
I know.
Man.
That's what I'm hoping for. That may take a little time, but
Have some nice bangs there.
Yep, absolutely. Bangs that start in the back.
Back bang.
Back bang. See,
it's the new trend, brother.
We're inventing new things. That's for sure. But don't forget to download our free mobile app inside the Google Play or the Apple Store. That one you do need to search 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's also the last day this week. It is the 7-year send-off. If you've been hanging out with us all week, you know the deal. But we've been doing this for about 7 years, coming up on our 7-year anniversary. We've been your destination for the Atlanta Braves here in the Florida Panhandle for all of that time. So it's time for us to return the favor. 7's just a great number. Mickey Mantle, John Elway. I think Elway was 7. But anyway, lots of other good 7s out there, including our 7-year anniversary. But if you listen to Coach James Hale Show at 7:40, the Inside Drive here at 12:40, then of course the Afternoon Underdogs at 5:40. You hear that beautiful music, that gives you the cue to call. If you're caller number 10, give us a call, 850-215-6290. You'll automatically be entered to win a sweet prize. And then we gave away some Shaquille O'Neal jerseys yesterday. That was some pretty cool stuff. Today's prize is a Dave & Buster's swag bag t-shirt. And again, go hang out there with the Swamp Monster with a $10 Swampy Jack gift card. I love Swampy Jacks because it kind of reminds me of like the carnivals a little bit when you were growing up. You know, they don't have the Gravitron, but that's okay. But they got the one inside, like the Scrambler one, and they got...
and don't they got the Abominable Snowman over there?
Yep,
so it's got Miracle Strip vibes to it as well.
It does. Not too far away from where that original Miracle Strip was. But again, if you're caller number 10, when you hear the cue to call, you'll be entered to win a prize package to go see the Atlanta Braves play the Toronto Blue Jays on Saturday, September 7th. It includes hotel, spending cash, food and beverage at the game, as well as some amazing seats there to the Xfinity Club. And, we appreciate the sponsors, PCB Hobby, Fairfield Inn, Hampton Inn on Thomas Drive, as well as Home 2 Suites for sponsoring the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off. So again, that's going to be right there before the 12:40 segment. Got a good show lined up today. Of course, we always have Aaron Bearden on Friday at 12:20. No Jay Henley, as today's the final day of the first junior camp where he'll be giving away the awards and doing a pizza party afterwards. Jay just does it right when it comes to taking care of the kids. We were supposed to be joined by Alan Sandage 11:20 to go over the Belmont preview, but we'll do a little bit of that ourselves. He had something come up there. And then Shannon Richmond from the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce is going to be joining us in the final segment. I've been very involved in the chamber. I'm the incoming chair currently this year. And we're going to talk a little bit about what the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce brings to the table and how you can get involved and all the other things they got going on. It's a very large and very active Chamber of Commerce. That is for sure. David Hayes, last night, another four-peat. Happened again.
Oh, yeah, man. They crushed them, didn't they? It was so close, too.
God, it got close for a second. And you knew, Texas got, they got up. It was tied 2-2 going into the fourth inning.
That's about when I tuned in when it was like the controversial inning, actually.
Yeah, that was kind of nuts.
Keep building.
And they got, and Texas did get up 3-0 going, or 3-2 going into the bottom of the fourth. And then Oklahoma just did Oklahoma things, got a lot of runners on base, and then ended up being up 5-3 going out of the fourth. No score in the fifth inning, and then in the sixth inning, that's where things got a little crazy for Texas. Had a chance to tie it up, I believe, at the time, if I remember correctly. Liam would probably remember, as he's been watching these with me on the reg. They had either runners on first and second or first and third, and hit a ground ball to the second baseman. She had trouble fielding it. So the runner on third scored.
It might have been second and third now that you mentioned it, because runner from third scored, second went to third. And she was trying to go to second to kind of get in a pickle there. That's the only explanation is she thought the girl wasn't paying attention. So if she's not paying attention, then she can run to second. And then if they throw to second base, then the runner from third
scores.
can get there and score and tie. But you don't do that with 2 outs. And really, you don't do that unless that's a pre-disclosed conversation that you had with coach, or y'all run this all the time time in practice.
Yep.
And I doubt that you ran it all the time in practice. With just in that situation, like your season's on the line, there's 2 outs. You don't cause a distraction there to try to tie the game up when you've got your number 3 hole hitter. It might be a totally different situation if the 8-9 spot's coming up, but with the 3-hole hitter coming up, very accomplished batter in the box.
2 outs too.
Yeah,
that's
and
the tough
2
part.
outs. I mean, you never want to take an out at third base, right?
Yeah.
With 2 outs, like trying to push the envelope, if you will, and just it's tough, man. Especially when you're down, but the game's not out of hand, and then an error like that just kind of takes the gusto out of everyone, and it gave it all the mo was with Oklahoma at that point in time.
Well, that's what I said to Liam. I said, look, if that didn't happen and that third run, and say the 3-hole hitter then hits a base hit and the run scores and ties it up, all the momentum then would have been with Texas. And, that's got to be the only explanation that I can think of is what you just said. She was trying to but the base paths are so short in softball, and, the second baseman was literally right in front of her, and the pitcher and the first base, like, hey, look, she's behind you, and boom, easy play.
And quick thinking too, because she was so close to being back safe. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely,
that was quick glove there by Oklahoma, and the whoever was covering. I don't know if it was the first baseman that tossed the ball back to the second baseman.
Could have been the pitcher. Yeah, I can't remember.
But either way, it was one of those championship type plays, and that's what makes champions, especially when you're talking about a whole class. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, you're a national champion of softball.
Pretty crazy. A 4-peat. Doesn't happen very often in sports. It did happen with women's beach volleyball earlier this early May, actually, with the USC Women of Troy winning 4 straight national championships in beach volleyball. But, the momentum came back. Oklahoma came up in the bottom of the 6th with a 1-run lead and then poured 3 more on. And really, to be honest, it could have been even more. I think the final batter that got out had a chance to hit a grand slam to run rule the game.
How wild would have that been?
That would have been nuts.
Your 1 run from, a tie ball game.
And then the next.
And then you cap off an incredible run, never been done in college softball. There's been 3-peats done before by UCLA, but now Oklahoma stands alone. And welcome to the SEC.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. SEC. And that's one of the sports, bringing Texas and Oklahoma into the SEC in softball. I mean, and even football, it's going to add to the strength of the conferences, not only in those sports, but kind of across the board as well. And then, I think it was a record, if I heard it correctly, Oklahoma used 5 pitchers in the game yesterday.
Kelly Maxwell coming in to close it out was
just fitting. Yeah. Just fitting. Kelly Maxwell is an absolute great pitcher, and I didn't realize she was a transfer from Oklahoma State that came over from last season to this season to kind of help get that 3rd or 4th and final national championship there.
Is it the final though?
I don't know. Are they going to make it 5? Why stop now? I don't know. How long is it? Always been in Oklahoma City?
I don't know how long it's been in OKC. 1982 was like the first year of the College Softball World Series. So
okay.
I don't imagine that it's been. You know what's? I might be wrong about this. It might have been a double or triple A team, but I believe that Old School actually was there for the groundbreaking, was a part of the groundbreaking for the OKC Women's College World Series field there. So
yeah, because that's it's in Oklahoma City, which is not where Oklahoma State is. They're in Stillwater. Oklahoma's in Norman, but you're still in the state of Oklahoma, and you gotta say that crowd was probably 80% Oklahoma and 20% Texas, if that maybe. So obviously, they still have to get there, but almost like a home series there for the Oklahoma Sooners. But getting back to Kelly Maxwell, she's pitched 3 straight days in a row, and really going back to the 30th of May, has pitched in 5 games since May 30th. She was against Duke, got the win 3 and 1. What's that? 1/5 inning.
1/3.
1/3. Well, 3.2.
Yeah, so 3.2 would be 2/3 of an inning. So it's
only 0.1, 0.2. It's not
you
like
don't get a 0.3 because that would be a full inning.
Okay, so it's not like a real fraction where they're saying like 0.2 and you go up to 0.9. Okay, that's why I couldn't understand it. Look, we're all learning together here on the Inside Drive. But
especially with baseball, there's so many minute stats out there. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to catch up with all of the analytics that have been added because they add them yearly. And that's why I just talk with Sam Peebles and just let him explain it. And then I try to take in as much information as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on the season, she pitched 155 and one third innings. She had 164 strikeouts. But in the postseason against Florida State back on 5/23 in that regional, she won that game, pitched 5 innings, 3 strikeouts. Then Duke, 3 2/3 innings, 4 strikeouts. UCLA in the College World Series, 7 innings, 11 strikeouts. And then against Florida, 8 innings, 8 strikeouts. Texas, 7, and that was the Florida and Texas game. That was back-to-back games. Yeah. It's just, your arm's regardless of the motion, it's got to get tired, right?
I mean, yeah, I think that it does get tired, but I also think that old adrenaline sets in when you're thinking about what it, especially with her not being a part of the other Oklahoma schools, so you want to put your imprint on the championship footprint, if you will.
Definitely. Well, cool to see her, and kind of fitting for her to come in at the end of the game and get the the final to 1 1/3 innings.
Yeah, Patty Gasso was getting all the seniors in there when you feel like the game is in your grasp. So get your guys or get your gals in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of games, game 1 last night, NBA Finals. We got home kind of, as the first half was ending, and when I looked at the score on my phone when I had an opportunity, I was surprised but not surprised. Yeah. I mean, the Celtics have been doing this all year. I mean, they've had 9 days of rest. They've had a lot of time to get going. And what have they done all season? They've won games, and they've won them by a lot. And last night, that didn't change at all. Boston beat Dallas by 18 and led by as much as 29 in an NBA final. That's kind of crazy. It included a 44-14 run. I think at one point it was 64-72 in the third quarter.
It got close. They were letting them play. I was sitting there. I was like outside on the porch, but you could see the TV. So I'm like, all right, I'm going back in to watch this because Boston had gotten to that huge lead. So the game was kind of boring. They come out, second quarter though, Dallas starts edging back. That third quarter though, Dallas is making even more of a move. I'm like, man, they might come back. Like, let's look on Hard Rock, see what's going on.
Yeah, see what the live betting is. Yeah. Well, I think the 44-14 run happened at that moment when it got as close as it did, and Dallas just Boston put down the hammer. But one of the kind of surprise or not surprise, depending on how you look at it, but Porzingis' return, first game since April, he scored 20 points in 20 minutes. I think that was a huge asset there. The Mavs had the same number of assists, 9, as Boston had blocked shots. That's certainly an issue with the ball movement, not making some stuff going. Celtics are now a 7-point favorite on game 2 on Sunday, and they're now minus 420 to win the series. So maybe if you believe in the Mavs coming back and making some history happen, you want to jump in on that bet. It's probably pretty good right now. I haven't looked it up. But the silver lining for those Mavs fans, Dallas also lost game 1 and lost game 1 in the first and second round this postseason. So not necessarily, just because they lost game 1, this thing is over. But if there was one team to be able to clamp down and win this series, I just hope it's not a 4-0 series. But you could easily see it be that.
I mean, I think Luka and Kyrie bounce back, but it's just different when it's not Luka and Kyrie versus Tatum and Jaylen Brown out there.
No, it's versus.
And then when you add in the addition of Kristaps Porzingis, and like Jason Tatum kept on saying, it was like a seamless transition for him. So yeah, that was they're going to be tough to stop, but I think Dallas will find a way to win 1 or 2 games. If they were better defensively, this would be a better series. Yeah. But Boston's the real deal.
Yeah, absolutely. They have kind of been on a destiny all season long, that is for sure. Did have a kind of a wild fun fact, David Hayes, and this is way outside in the sports things, and Jay would probably like this one as well. But one of the biggest upsets in cricket history went down yesterday.
USA.
Yeah.
USA.
So
Yeah, they beat Pakistan.
Yeah, they beat Pakistan in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. The U.S. is now 2-0 in group play and faces India next week. But I'm pretty sure that, we've never, ever beat Pakistan. And, for USA to have to do anything.
Well, it depends on what sport you're talking about.
Well, in cricket. In cricket specifically. But yeah, no, it was kind of cool. I mean, I know kind of how cricket's played, but if you start asking me about the rules, we got a whole nother ball game. And I really don't know what's going on. But that was cool to see the United States of America making something happen in the world of cricket. Now, are there a lot of, players that come from international descent that are on the USA cricket team, but are United States citizens? Yes, there is.
I was about to say, I don't have a clue about that.
I was rhetorically asking you that particular question. But so cool stuff coming out of the cricket world for the United States first time. I don't think it's the first time. I think we've talked about wickets and stuff like that here before on the Inside Drive. But also the French Open, if you're a big fan of tennis, specifically clay court tennis, the first major of the year. Or no, it's not the first. I believe it's the second major of the year. The semifinals are completed there. You had Oda beat McKee. And we got, I know Nadal withdrew earlier in the tournament, and maybe probably his last French Open. One of the most dominant clay court players in the history of tennis. But excuse me, that was the doubles I was looking at. We're going live right now in the semifinals. You've got Alcaraz and Sinner. Currently, Alcaraz is looks like they're tied. They're in the fifth set right now, and Alcaraz is up 3-0. I know we got a lot of tennis fans here in the Panhandle, and then later on today, you've got Rudd versus Zverev. That's going to be right after about an hour in between the two games, but this first match has gone 3 hours and 37 minutes. So a long one out there at the French Open in the major of tennis world.
Yeah. I watched a few rounds. What do they play? Best of 5?
Yes, men play best of 5, women play best of 3.
I don't know. I feel like I saw some of the ladies' matches like having 4 boxes up there. But
it might have been a tiebreaker or something like that. And I always watch Wimbledon. Wimbledon for tennis is like the Masters for golf. Like if there's one I'm going to watch, I typically watch Wimbledon. I don't know why. I think it's probably because my dad always watched it.
Talk about good nap in sports like NASCAR and golf. Like you know what I mean? Tennis is not, because all you hear is yeah. That part's kind of, hypnotizing.
It's almost like a metronome a little bit.
In the back. Like, golly. And I get it. You got to do it. It's just like boxing and whatnot.
Yeah.
Breathe.
Yeah, you're letting all that go.
That's kind of the funniest part of tennis to me.
Yep, especially on the other side. That's for sure. That is for sure. It can get a little dicey when it comes to that. But
what are you watching, Dad?
yeah, interesting. But yeah, we'll jump into the Belmont when we get back here in the next segment. Talk a little bit about that. Talk about the college. I know we already did our pick'ems yesterday on college baseball, but I believe the Tallahassee Regional is underway as we speak. UConn and Florida State game 1 currently tied 0-0 in the bottom of the first, but we'll go through all those regionals one more time, get you up to date on all that stuff. And I didn't realize Major League Baseball is playing a game overseas this weekend.
London, yes, sir.
London. There you go. Football, baseball, tennis.
Cricket.
Yeah, cricket, all that good stuff.
They're gonna go bowling instead of pitching.
Nice. I like it. But that'll be cool. The Mets are over there, so
Mets and Phillies, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm more excited about that Dodgers-Yankees series.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good series. I don't care where you're playing, I care about who's playing, and the Phillies and the Mets just don't really do it for me.
Hey, on paper, that should be a easy one there for the Phils.
No doubt.
That's for sure. But we're gonna take our first break here on this beautiful Friday. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 87 with a moderate breeze at 13 miles per hour out of the west-southwest. Tonight, a wind coming out of the north-northwest at 6 miles per hour and clear skies with lows around 74. Tomorrow, sunny with a light breeze and a temperature near 88. Moving into Sunday, the same with a high of 88 and sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover the new Kia during the Summer Sticker Sales event going on now at Bill Bird Kia. Our SUV family is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or a new 2024 Kia Sportage. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. Now enjoy the view this summer because the road is yours in a brand new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or new 2024 Kia Sportage with $2,165 per month per 1,000 financed in 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 7/8/24.
The locals love him.
You're gonna love this. You are my favorite. It's my favorite.
Everybody's favorite. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Well, John Andrew Bland request here on the Inside Drive. You are listening to the Inside Drive, 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. It is the third leg of the Triple Crown coming up tomorrow. I think the post time will probably be right before 6 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone. But it is the third leg of the Triple Crown. We're not going to have a Triple Crown winner this year, which is fine. But, I want to talk quickly about the differences, and then we'll go over all the horses and the odds and all that good stuff. Obviously, the first leg of the Triple Crown is the Kentucky Derby. That is 1 1/4 miles. Jay, do you remember how long a furlong is?
2 million yards.
There you go. You are exactly correct, my friend. Yes, 200 yards is a furlong. I'll never forget that.
I said 2 million yards.
It was close. No, I know. I heard you say it. I just rolled with it.
So it is 200 yards?
It is 200 yards, a furlong. Key sent me something when I said Jay, made me think of this. Key sent me something this morning. I guess Shaq and who's the other guy on the TNT NBA thing?
Charles Barkley?
No, not Charles Barkley.
Kenny Smith?
Kenny Smith. They were talking back and forth. I don't know if it was last night or whatnot, but Kenny Smith and Shaq was talking about filling up your gas tank, and Kenny Smith was talking about, it takes this long to fill up my gas tank. It takes me $80 to fill my tank. And then Shaq's like, instead of letting it go to E and spending $80, just let it go halfway and then spend $20 to get it back full. And he kept arguing that point over and over again. And then Key's like, this reminds me of something Jay would completely say. So Jay, you're in good company with Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that do that though, that like they'll go, about the halfway mark or so, and that's a lot safer. I actually gambled today. The fuel level just said low, and so I was
just gotta roll the dice sometimes. Keeps your life interesting.
3 gallons. I'm not on one of those newer trucks. I'm still in the 2007 age and hope to stay there for a long time because I can actually
fix your truck.
yeah, for the most
you can
part.
Open it up and actually see the engine and not have to stick a computer to it.
But yeah, I'm so it really depends. There is sometimes where I'll like, all right, I'm sitting here at half. I'll go ahead and fill it up if I see gas for like a real good price.
Yeah.
Otherwise, quarter tank.
Yeah.
Or right now, riding E, baby.
There you go. Roll the dice. Roll the dice.
Praying and driving. Jesus, take the wheel and fill the gas tank somehow.
That's it. As long as you can still roll, you're good. Just people get out of your way. I had my first car was
and I'm empty.
I need to find a gas station. Nah, it's not dirty.
Good luck finding that.
True. Yeah, the gas is
actually there's a lot of clean gas stations around here.
Yeah, no, there
especially all them Sefcos.
Well, they're all brand new.
That's what I was getting at. Boy, gas stations and
banks.
Well, banks
and apartment complexes.
Churches, but what I was saying, popping up all over the place right now are car washes.
Oh yeah,
like we must got a lot of dirty money around Panama City.
I mean, I guess once you pay for one of those bad boys, that's just a moneymaker.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's a pretty big investment up front.
Oh, I could only imagine, and like to keep all of the.
With the
liquids and whatnot that you need.
Yep, and you're making sure everything's working all the time because when it's not working, you ain't making money. That's for sure.
True.
But there are some really good ones around here, and they say it's bad for your paint, but so is everything.
Everything's bad for everything.
We got salt air here. It's not good for anything. So get your car washed. That's the moral of the story.
Just stay riding dirty.
Yeah. I mean, if it's going to get dirty, just keep it dirty.
There you go.
Keep it dirty. And speaking of dirty, I mean, when you have kids, trying to keep your vehicle clean is impossible.
No, the closest you get is a little sign on there saying "Wash me."
Yes, they write it on the, and it's usually the kids that write it on the back, which makes no sense.
Like you should be the one washing.
Yes.
It could be just a reminder for themselves.
There you go. I did have one time Ryan and Liam wash my car for me, just out of the blue. They need to start doing it again.
It's like a summer activity.
Yeah, absolutely. You get some tan while you're doing it, and if you need to cool off, you just spray yourself off. But anyway, getting back to the differences between the three races. Again, we had the Kentucky Derby the first Saturday in May, and then of course the Preakness, which was a little bit longer, actually a little bit shorter by a quarter or an eighth of, or 1/16 of a mile shorter.
How much of a furlong is that?
Don't ask me to convert miles into furlongs. I was good at math, but not that kind of math. The Preakness, which ran the third Saturday in May, just 1 week in between the Kentucky Derby, is 1 3/16 miles, ran in Baltimore, Maryland. And then, of course, the one we got coming up tomorrow that Liam was asking me all about is the Belmont. That is 1.5 miles, the longest race of the three Triple Crown races and the final leg. It's in Belmont Park in Elmont, New York, which is interesting. Did they just decide to name the park? They just said, you know what? I like the name of the city. It's Elmont. We're just going to put a B on the front of it.
There you go.
And that's how it came to be. It's the greatest stamina test of the three races. And like I said, the distance is 1.5 miles. It's very rare for a dirt race in the 21st century. Thought that there were top level races up to 2 miles on dirt as late as the 1970s, but the Belmont is now the longest dirt race with grade 1 status. That means the highest race grading status available. I'm assuming that's talking about the actual track itself and how good it is. But that's coming up this Saturday. We've got quite a few horses in there and some names you'll recognize from the Kentucky Derby that did not race in the Preakness, and then a few that raced in the Preakness as well. I did get Alan's pick on who he was recommending. Let me find that real quick. He was saying the number 10 horse Mindframe with Irad Ortiz is what he's liking in this one. Currently 7-2 to win. Sierra Leone, you probably remember that name from the previous races. Currently 9-5. That is the betting favorite right now in the 9 position on the post. Seize the Gray is 8-1. I believe, was it Seize the Gray that won the Preakness? I can't remember.
I think Seize the Gray won.
Mystic Dan won. Mystic Dan won the Kentucky Derby.
So then Seize the Gray, did win. Yeah.
Okay. They're 8-1 right now. Resilience is a name that we remember in the number 2 post spot there. They are 10-1. Mystic Dan, the Kentucky Derby winner, is 5-1. The Wine Steward, 15-1. Antiquarian, 12-1. Dornock, which I remember that name from previous races, is 15-1. Protective is 20-1. And then Honor Marie in the 8th spot, another name that's very familiar, is 12-1. I know you can use the Twin Spires app here in Florida, or, if you just want to head up to that old dog track up there off of Highway 79 in Ebro, and you can go play some bets and watch it there as well. But that post time will be getting rocking and rolling, and looking forward to seeing some horses race this Saturday coming up. Should be a good time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, the Triple Crown's gone.
It's over and done with, and we'll talk about horse racing again around year 2 of the Inside Drive.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, we like talking about all sports here. We try to cover all the bases, especially this time of year when there's really not as much football stuff going on. But, we'll recap that when we come back on Monday. But it's I'm excited about it. It's a lot of fun watching them go, and I've had some history with some horse races and up there in New Jersey at Monmouth Park, which is a pretty large park and a cool spot.
What's your favorite name on here?
Ooh, I really like Seize the Gray.
I'm going with Antiquarian.
Ooh, I like that too.
Yeah, it sounds like one of them, what do you call them? The little signs that people are, Virgo, Libra.
Oh, your zodiac sign?
Yeah, there you go. That's what it sounds like.
Oh.
Antiquarian.
It does. Got a little Aquarius ring to it.
There you go. So
it's the dawn of the age. Anyway, college baseball. Super regionals.
Yes,
We're
sir.
getting down to the nitty-gritty. That's the beautiful thing. You got softball, rolls out, World Series is over. I like how they stagger these two. So you've got really like a really long period of time between college softball and college baseball. But again, I know we did all our picks yesterday, but just to recap all the regionals coming up, you've got the Knoxville Regional. That's Tennessee and Evansville. That gets underway 2 p.m. this afternoon. That'll be on ESPN2. And then, of course, Game 2 will be tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. If you'd like college baseball, tomorrow morning here in the Central Time Zone, you've got some early games on to wake up and watch some great baseball, maybe get some parlays in there, see what happens. So, Tennessee, what do you think, Dave? I know we all picked Tennessee. Do you think they win in 2 straight games, or do you think Evansville finds a way to have some miracles and force a Game 3?
I mean, I think Tennessee's going to win and all, but I would love to see. Yeah. I would love to see Evansville at least take it to a 3-game series. But yeah, I mean, Tennessee.
Yep, there you go.
They're the number 1 overall seed here.
Absolutely.
Right? So.
And you're that for a reason, especially in the very challenging, difficult regular schedule of the SEC during the regular season. All right, just across again, if you're looking for a fun place to go this weekend, I think we're going to head over there tomorrow and check out some Florida State baseball. Liam's pretty pumped up to see it. He plays a little baseball, and he was really into the softball. He was pulling for Texas. He's the anti 3-peat, 4-peat champion guy.
So how's he feel about Kansas City? Well, he hates them anyways because of 49ers fans. So,
yeah. So, but anyway, over there at the Tallahassee Regional, which is already underway, Florida State off to a great start. It's the top of the second. Florida State looks like they scored 3 runs in the bottom of the first.
Back-to-back jacks.
Back-to-back jacks.
Yep,
Good.
Dinguez with Dinguez with a 2-run shot there, and then Farrer with a 1-run solo shot.
Nice.
Carson Dorsey, 2 strikeouts, walk, no hits yet.
Whew, no hitter so far.
It's only the
second inning. But, hey, you got to start somewhere. But we'll keep you updated on that throughout the show. And then tomorrow's game will be at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone. Game 2, if Florida State wins this one. Or UConn.
That's what time the game is tomorrow? 10 a.m.?
10 a.m. Eastern Time.
Ooh.
11 a.m. It's
11 Eastern, 10 Central?
10 Central.
Gotcha.
Yep. So
hey, right there where it starts, feels good, and then woof.
Toasty.
Yeah.
Toasty. But hey.
It says it feels like 103 out there today.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's 102 tomorrow.
There you go, man.
But it's okay.
Linings.
That's why they make sunblock and hats.
There you go.
All that good stuff. But yeah, bottom of the second now. Looks like Florida State got out of the top there, so maybe Dorsey had a couple more strikeouts, and maybe you already reported that before it switched here on my screen.
He's up to 3 strikeouts now.
Nice. Great start for the kid. That's awesome stuff. Over there in the Charlottesville Regional, that one will get underway tonight on ESPN2. That'll be 6 p.m. Central Time. That's Kansas State and Virginia. Game 2 will be tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Central Time. And then if Game 3 on Sunday is necessary, that'll be at 2 p.m. Central Time Zone. And then Jay's baby blue team claiming he was using reverse psychology yesterday. Game 1 against West Virginia and North Carolina gets underway 5 p.m. on ESPN in the Central Time Zone. Game 2 will be 7 p.m. tomorrow night on ESPN2. Game 3, if necessary, will be at 2 p.m. on Sunday, again on ESPN2. On the other side of the bracket, the Lexington Regional, you've got Kentucky versus Oregon State, the Wildcats and the Beavers going against each other. That'll be on ESPNU, 5 p.m. tonight. Game 2 will be tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time on ESPNU. Game 3, if necessary. Apparently, the NCAA website didn't want to tell us what TV station or what time that game will be. Maybe there's some scheduling conflicts. The Athens Regional, the Georgia Bulldogs and the NC State Wolfpack, that's actually should be underway right now. That one doesn't start today. Interesting.
Which one is that?
The Georgia NC State game.
Oh, that
Game 1 is tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Game 2 being Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And then Game 3 will be Monday if it gets to a Game 3. Interesting indeed. I thought they were all the same. But maybe, again, goes back to TV times, making sure these are all on national TV. Same thing with the Clemson Super Regional. That does not get started tonight. That gets started tomorrow at 1 p.m. on ESPN. It's probably because they're trying to get them on ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPNU. And just, you can only have so many at one time. And so that gets underway tomorrow. The Florida Gators trying to
Oregon and Texas A&M as well. So
gotcha. So you can basically the left side of the bracket's all going starting today, and the right side of the bracket is starting tomorrow. So stagger. So maybe we won't know the results of our pick'em come Monday. But Florida has got an opportunity to continue. Again, I talked about it. They were 28-27 on the regular season. Big time bubble team. A lot of people shouldn't have thought they got in, but guess what? They took care of business in the regional, and they move on to face the Clemson Tigers. I remember when I toured Clemson University, one of the things I do remember, other than the campus being so spread out, is how many baseball accolades they had in their athletic area. And it was pretty impressive at the time. So they're the big matchup there between the ACC and the SEC. Game 1 tomorrow, Game 2 on Sunday at 1:30 Central Time, and then Game 3, if necessary, will be on Monday. And as Jay mentioned, the College Station Super Regional, that's Texas A&M and Oregon, gets underway tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. Game 2 will be on Sunday at 6:30 Central Time. That's again Oregon and Texas A&M, and we'll find out who's going to the College World Series at least by the end of Monday, if we have some Game 3s, that's for sure. Looking forward to checking that out. Love some college baseball. It is that time of year if you're a big fan, and it's always high scoring and a lot of fun, and I think that's what makes it pretty special. We only got about 2 minutes left in this segment, so I got a fun, I love fun facts and stats and all that kind of stuff. Not as data driven as Keith, but try to live in there a little bit. Saw this graphic come through, and if you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, you should probably close your ears. Winning percentage has mostly, this is the NFL, winning percentage has mostly a strong correlation with Super Bowl titles. Dallas Cowboys have the highest regular season winning percentage with .599. They have 5 Super Bowl wins, although it's been a long time. The Pittsburgh Steelers have 6 Super Bowl wins with a winning percentage of .589. The Baltimore Ravens next with .569, 2 Super Bowl trophies. The Minnesota Vikings have the 4th highest winning percentage in regular season history at .559. Do they have a Super Bowl trophy, though, David Hayes? The Minnesota Vikings.
No.
Nope, they don't. So they're the outlier when it comes to the best winning percentages in NFL. This is the top, I think it's the top 8 winning percentages. And the Minnesota Vikings are 4th best, and they do not have a Super Bowl trophy.
And it could be a while.
It could be, especially now. I think, did I read it that Sam Darnold's most likely, or is the starter?
I mean, I think he should be.
And it's the same.
McCarthy kind of earns it.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with the Patriots. I saw they declared Drake May will be the backup to Jacoby Brissett to start
I think that's the smart route to go too, man. Jacoby Brissett, look what he did for Cleveland. I mean, not as much over there at Washington, but Washington was trying to see if Sam Howell was the guy last year. I mean, hey, if you got some vets around, Jacoby Brissett, if the defense is good, Jacoby Brissett, I don't know if the division is winnable for the New England Patriots, but we don't know till, obviously they start playing the games. I think that both of those moves are the right moves, because if it doesn't work out for Sam Darnold, then boom, you go to J.J. McCarthy. If it doesn't work out for J.J. McCarthy because you start him, now you've affected his confidence.
Yep. Yeah, and you see that so often where you throw a guy in there because you think in his rookie season, and you see that not work out more so than it does.
Yeah.
Versus the opposite side of it, when you get a great quarterback in there as a rookie, but he works behind a starter, a vet for a couple of years, i.e. Jordan Love, and then when they get their opportunity to start, they're ready. They're just ready for the NFL. Then at that point, the New England Patriots, .555 winning percentage. We all know how many Super Bowl trophies they have, tied with the Pittsburgh Steelers for the most of all time, 6 Super Bowl trophies. The Miami Dolphins have the next highest winning percentage at .554. They have 2 Super Bowl trophies. Green Bay Packers 552, 4 Super Bowl trophies. The San Francisco 49ers at .550, they have 5, still trying to find that 6th Super Bowl trophy. And of course the Kansas City Chiefs .547 have 4 Super Bowl trophies.
I wonder what theirs was a few years ago.
Yeah, before Mahomes came in. I'm sure that's changed quite a bit. And then last but not least on this particular list, you got the Denver Broncos with .545 winning percentage and 3 Super Bowl trophies. Moral of that story is most of the time when you have one of the best winning percentages in the league for the regular season, you've got Super Bowl trophies and more than one, unless you're the Minnesota Vikings.
They're going to need a little dose of Lizzo.
That's it, the Minnesota Vikings. With that being said, we're going to take our next break. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, available on all your devices.
Connected.
Hear your favorite sports talk hosts.
The Coach James Hale Show.
You're listening to the Inside Drive live.
The afternoon underdog.
And your favorite teams.
Braves winning!
We're live on the app. Tune in, Alexa, ESPNPC.com, Facebook, YouTube, and in your car at 101.9 and 104.3. Wherever you go, there we are. ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's time for a new kitchen from Kitchen Designs. Kitchen Designs in Panama City Beach and Santa Rosa Beach offers full-service cabinets, countertops, and flooring, plus cash and carry cabinets available the very next day. Kitchen Designs has been family-owned and operated for over 20 years. Visit their showroom at 7934 Front Beach Road and on Lynn Drive in Santa Rosa Beach. Or call Kitchen Designs, 850-775-4150.
You're a real estate agent, not a social media expert, but you absolutely need a professional social media strategy. Stay on top of mind, top of feed, and be in more places. Introducing SocialStackPro.com, a tool for real estate agents that inspires your content with the power of ChatGPT built right in. Try SocialStackPro.com for free. Focus on building your brand, building relationships, and post like a pro with SocialStackPro.com.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
Broadcasting live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
Have a quick stretch first.
The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
Must have pulled something playing hoops last week.
And Jay Henley.
I know you're not putting that rock up from here. You ain't got no Jay.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We get started, I believe it is tomorrow, and I'm excited about that because if you're a hockey fan, you love the Stanley Cup playoffs, let alone the Stanley Cup finals. And we have the Atlantic's Division number 1 seed and the Pacific Division number 2 seed, Edmonton Oilers, and what we called last year the House Money Cats, who are not playing on house money anymore as they've now been to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. But everything will get underway tomorrow night, 7 p.m. right there on ABC. Current leaders in the playoffs for their teams, Matthew Tkachuk has 19 points. Connor McDavid has 31 points. En route to the Stanley Cup
Who's
final.
next closest? I'll look that up. I gotta look that up.
I'm guessing Draisaitl
Yeah.
or maybe the defenseman, I forget his name, that scores points all the time as well. But that, yeah.
Jay?
Yes. And defenseman's tough because they don't score a lot of goals, but they sure do have a lot of assists, and every assist is also worth a point. But the route to the Stanley Cup Finals, Florida Panthers defeated David Hayes' Tampa Bay Lightning 4-1, defeated the Boston Bruins 4-2, who they also beat last year after coming back down from a 3-1 deficit. And then probably the most impressive victory on the way to the Stanley Cup Finals was beating the New York Rangers 4-2 in that one. Did you find out who's got the second most?
Connor McDavid at 1, as you mentioned.
Yep.
Then it's Draisaitl at 28. Then Bouchard at 27.
That's nuts as the defenseman.
It is, right? Then Trocheck comes in at 4th from the Rangers with 20. Then you got Nugent Hopkins next also with Edmonton, and then finally you get a Florida player, Kachuk, there with 19 points.
Well, and that just goes to show you, and you talk about it all the time, how good of a defensive team the Florida Panthers are. I mean, they just don't allow a lot of goals to be scored, whereas on the Oilers route, with the Kings and the Canucks and even with the Stars, a lot of high-scoring games in that one. But the Edmonton Oilers defeated the Los Angeles Kings 4-1 in the first round, then defeated the Vancouver Canucks in 7 games. That was a fantastic series, 4-3. I know Vancouver didn't riot after this one, so that was good. And then, of course, in the Western Conference Finals, beat the Dallas Stars 4-2. Game 1 tomorrow night, like I said, 7 p.m. Edmonton at Florida. First 2 games there. In between, next is June 10th. Then they get that 3-day break because it's 2,700 miles we talked about earlier this week. Record for the most distance traveled between two. I mean, and the thing, Edmonton's not just across the border of USA and Canada. Edmonton is way up there in the Alberta province, so it's a long way to go. I mean, you really couldn't go any further for 2 teams in the United States and Canada, that's for sure.
Well, let's go USA, man. Get that job done here. And honestly, I think it might be I'm wondering how Canadian fans feel about it. Are they rooting for Edmonton, or are they, what would be the most rootable Canadian franchise for the Canadian people?
Well, and I think and I remember when I was watching the Here for the Riot. That's what the name of that one was. The entire country of Canada seemed to be rooting for the Vancouver Canucks. I think if it was the Toronto Maple Leafs or if it was the Montreal Canadiens, you wouldn't see those fan bases are more those teams, and they hate the other teams, or hate the Leafs, and then the Leafs fans hate the Canadians. But Edmonton and Vancouver especially, I think, are more, they're going to root the Canadian fans, the Maple Leafs fans are going to root for a Canadian team to win the Cup.
Good, I like it. And I think when we get to the Stanley Cup, it needs to be Canadian anthem in Canada, our national anthem, the American national anthem right here in America. Don't do both of them.
Yeah, well, it's going to happen.
I know it's going to happen. But let's create a little,
little animosity.
Yeah.
Only play it in America, or only play U.S. in America, and only play Canada in there. It'd be crazy if it happened.
It's not. We know it's not going to happen.
No, because they're going to play both anytime. But yeah, no, I like it. Conn Smythe Trophy watch. Jay, what's the Conn Smythe Trophy? The MVP of the playoffs. Oh, congratulations!
Man, you on fire today.
You were just you must have done some
2 million yards for a furlong.
That's it. But some of the names on the Conn Smythe Trophy winner watch is obviously Stuart Skinner, the goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers, having a great postseason so far. He's 6-2 with a 1.91 goals against average and a 9.919 save percentage. So he's obviously been playing very well. Number 9 on there, Carter Verhaeghe. He's a forward for the Florida Panthers. He leads Florida with 9 goals and is tied for second with 17 points. Next is Zach Hyman. He's a forward for the Edmonton Oilers. He's currently he had combined 68 goals between the regular season, where he scored 54 times, and in the playoffs he is tied for 4th most by a left wing in NHL history. He's closing on a bit of history there, so maybe he can get that history done. He is within reach of Luc Robitaille's 1992-1993 record of 72 goals. I believe Luc Robitaille played for the Los Angeles Kings at that time, maybe the Pittsburgh Penguins. I can't remember completely. Next on this list, Matthew Tkachuk, the captain for the Florida Panthers. He's got 19 points in 17 games. He's the leading scorer on the Panthers through 3 rounds. Although he doesn't have many spotlight moments like he did in the previous postseason, it's tough to live up to that hype, but he's appeared 3rd place on the ballot and can change in a hurry if he has a great Stanley Cup final. And this is how old I'm getting now when it comes to watching hockey. Is I can remember watching his dad Keith play on the regular, that's for sure. And you're seeing a lot of legacy guys.
He's got a son in Youth American hockey, so that name will continue to be ringing in the NHL realm.
Genetics are a very powerful thing when it comes to athletics. There's no doubt about it.
It helps having that legacy as well, because you do get, especially if you're good, but you're going to get more opportunities than some of the other
i.e. Bronny James.
I mean, yeah, and that, but if you're good, like Michael Jordan's sons also got the same opportunity, right? And they weren't good enough to cut it. So there is that side of it.
Definitely.
I think it's a little bit easier in the entertainment world when you have some coattails to hang on to there. But yeah, you still got to be good at it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to do some research one day and see which professional sport has the most legacy players in it. I'm going to guess the NHL.
I'm going to guess baseball.
Oh?
I would guess baseball because there's more like double A.
Exactly. And maybe I'll narrow it down to being at the highest level.
There you
go. MLB, NHL.
Had to make it to MLB.
Yeah, you had to make it to the to actual Major League Baseball and not just be in the organization. Number 6 on the Conn Smythe watch list, as we talked about, Evan Bouchard. He's a defenseman for the Edmonton Oilers. Which is pretty crazy. He's got 27 points in 18 games, including 6 goals and 21 assists. The majority of those points, too, which is awesome.
Play?
No, is actually 15 of those points have come at even strength. He's averaging 24 minutes and 33 seconds in ice time per game. That is the tops on the Edmonton Oilers. And typically, one of your better defensemen are always going to lead in ice time because you usually rotate 3 defensive lines as opposed to 4 offensive lines. And then, of course, you've got, I think he's always out there on the first line of the power play and the first line of the penalty kill as well. He has a couple records in sight as well in the finals. He trails Edmonton assistant coach Paul Coffey. He had 25 in 1985 for the most assists in a single postseason by a defenseman, which would also give Bouchard the most ever for an Oilers defenseman. Bouchard was third in third ballots and second in one of them by a voter who had him right behind Connor McDavid. Keep in mind that defensemen have won the Conn Smythe Trophy twice in the past 4 seasons.
Victor Hedman and Cole McCarr?
Yep.
Or Cale McCarr?
Victor Hedman. He was so good that postseason. He was fantastic.
He's the glue, man. And then when you lose a guy like Mikhail Sergachev down the stretch, that hurt for the Bolts as well. But yeah, defensemen have started playing a much different game these days. The elites of the defensemen.
Absolutely. Next on this list, Gustav Forsling. He's a defenseman for the Florida Panthers. There's a 16-point difference between Bouchard and Forsling, and yet the Panthers defenseman who slots into the top 5 for the Conn Smythe. He's appeared on one more ballot than Bouchard did, but his placement in the ranking makes him one voter pulling Forsling atop of their ballot, yes, shockingly ahead of Connor McDavid. The Gus supporters will tell you he's been on rock on defense for the Panthers, skating 23 minutes and 18 seconds per game. Florida has a goals against per 60 minutes of 1.87 on 5-on-5 with him on the ice. That's a wild stat. So less than 2 goals per the entire game when he's on the ice. That makes your plus minus probably pretty strong. That is for sure. And then, of course, one of my favorite names in hockey, a forward for the Edmonton Oilers, Leon Draisaitl. He's led the Conn Smythe watch list ahead of the conference finals, having led the Oilers with 24 points and getting kudos for playing a 200-foot game. His scoring quieted down a bit against the Stars, 2 goals and 2 assists in 6 games, which turned down the volume a little bit on his Conn Smythe candidacy. But he was still the first choice on the ballot and second on 3 others. He's 3 points back of McDavid for the playoff scoring lead and ready to carry the load offensively if the Panthers figure a way to slow down Connor McDavid. Draisaitl has been focused on the Cup since the last postseason ended. There are a lot of painful years that we've gone through and lots of learning along the way, he said after eliminating Dallas. We have bigger dreams and goals right now. All right, number 3 on the Conn Smythe list, and I think I probably agree with this one, is Florida Panthers goaltender Sergei Bobrovsky. If anybody knows how good he is, he's called Playoff Bob. And just ask his good friend Artem Paranin. The Rangers star pumped 16 pucks on Bobrovsky in the conference finals. The Panthers goalie stopped all but 1. He's a friend, but I was a better friend than him in the series, Paranin joked Tuesday. I told him good luck. If he wins the Cup, he deserves it. Bobrovsky has a .908 save percentage and a 2.2 goals against average in 17 games. He has gotten better better as the playoffs have progressed. I really think you saw that in the Rangers series as well, adjusting from the last postseason's high shot volume to remain locked in behind a shot-suppressing Panthers defense. And here's been why they've needed him. He's been the very definition of playoff Bob. You think he's been the best goaltender so far in the playoffs, or do you think just the Florida Panthers defense has been fantastic in front of him?
It comes down to that last series between New York and Florida. Like, if you put Igor Shesterkin on the Florida Panthers with that defense in front of them, I don't know, man. It would be tough for me to say that Bob's has been playing better than Shesterkin, but look at where they're at. So by that default there, Bob's Bobrovsky is playing he's the best goalie left here, but also when you brought up the Edmonton goaltenders' goals against average at 1.91,
and a lot more shots faced than Bobrovsky. That's
pretty
for
impressive there. So we're gonna see. I think this is gonna be a war of attrition, as it normally is in the Stanley Cup.
As it absolutely should be. There's no doubt about that. Two more names. The top two currently on the ballots is Alexander Barkov. He's a forward for the Panthers, as you guys all know if you follow hockey. He was the number one choice on 5 ballots for the Conn Smythe among the Panthers players. He has 17 points in 17 games, including 6 goals. But as usual, it's not just about the offensive output for the winner of the 2023-2024 Selke Trophy. Barkov shut down the Rangers' Mika Zibanejad in the conference finals. He dominated anyone the Bruins matched against him in the second round. It could be Barkov versus McDavid for good portions of the Stanley Cup finals. If Florida wins and McDavid doesn't run wild, it could be Barkov's MVP to lose. Clearly, the voters are all ready to support him, with having appeared on 48% of our ballots in a crowded field. But there is another player who's appeared on 100% of the ballots, and Florida State's up 5-0 in the ballot. If you turn that around, it almost looks like it says STF. You know, just when I looked at it quickly, I was like, you don't want me to talk about hockey anymore? All right, we love hockey. And then, of course, we all know who's currently number one on the Conn Smythe voting list, and that is forward Connor McDavid from the Edmonton Oilers. It all takes one moment to crystallize an MVP campaign when McDavid sliced through the Stars defense, apparently disconnecting Miro Heiskasen's video game controller in the process to open up the scoring in Game 6. That highlight goal was nuts. I mean, probably the goal of the playoffs, that's for sure. As Draisaitl said, there's one player in the world that can make things like that happen, and that's Connor McDavid. But it's also an example of McDavid willing his team to victory, as he assisted on Hyman's power play goal to build the 2-0 lead at home in the elimination game. McDavid has 4 points in 14 of the 18 games this postseason that the Oilers. He's within range of Wayne Gretzky's NHL record for most assists in a single postseason. McDavid has 26 helpers. Gretzky holds the record with 31 assists in 1988. You think he breaks that?
Will he get 5? Oh, my God.
I got to imagine. If an assist a game, if they play at least 5 games, who knows? It's such a good matchup. High-powered offense against a very good defense, and very much looking forward to the Stanley Cup finals.
But the difference is Edmonton in each of their series has been able to get off shots.
Yeah.
Florida doesn't let teams get off shots.
Yeah.
So that's where it's going to be interesting.
Matchup.
I want to say that he does get it done, but I also think that we're going to be looking at some 2-1 games here.
Yeah.
Where
old school hockey.
Yeah, I mean, just a lot like the Florida New York Rangers series, because New York, don't get it twisted, they were very talented,
high-powered offense there as well.
And how good was New York with the short-handed goals as well?
All season long.
Didn't even make a dent in the bucket when it came down to it.
Absolutely. Those Stanley Cup final gets underway tomorrow night, 7 p.m. here in the Central Time Zone. We got to take our top of the hour of the break. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the Inside Drive.
North Korea launched hundreds of balloons filled with poopy.
Poopy? Is that how it's written in the article?
Yeah.
Poopy.
Into South Korea in response to activists earlier sending K-pop into the North.
What's K-pop?
I don't know. North Korea has been
Korean
sending
pop music.
Oh.
Middays 11 to 1. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Friday. Sunny the rest of the day with a wind at 13 miles per hour out of the west-southwest and 87. Tonight, look for a light breeze and clear skies with a temperature near 74. Tomorrow, a high around 88 and sunshine. Sunday, very warm with a high of 88 and sunshine. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
That boot store has the perfect Father's Day gift for that special dad. Select from one of the largest collections of Western wear and Carhartt work clothes in the Panhandle. That boot store has been in business for 60 years and feels they've just begun. Shop that boot store this Father's Day and every day. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. Next to Bill Burr Kia, 15th Street, Panama City. That boot store where God is good all the time.
And now, the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
We're gonna have a talk.
Tell me what you know. You're out! Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's a frantic noise.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. Listen to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Quick update, as David Hayes mentioned, but the FSU game is now in the bottom of the third with UConn and Carson Dorsey having a great game so far. FSU's at bat with a 5-0 lead there on the bottom of the third. If you want to watch that, it is currently on ESPN. Great start there for the Florida State Seminoles. Hopefully they can hold up and do it. Again, got that futures, and I'm pulling FSU all the way to the national championship.
Hey, there we go. I just root for a good. I just want to see two good teams for the best of three. But it would be awesome for Florida State to get that first one, man.
Absolutely, which is crazy how many appearances that Coach had, and that would be kind of wild.
And then to see a guy right here from Arnold play the Gulf Coast as well, Carson Dorsey having a great game to this point. We won't talk too much about it, but trust me, we'll keep an eye on it.
Definitely. Well, it is the top of the hour. You listen to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Sitting inside these beautiful Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick and GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. The weekend is upon us, and if your boat is not working or if you don't have a boat, what are you waiting for? Snapper season is underway. Groupers are out there. The tarpon's running. Mahi's out there out on the shelf. Go out there and get yourself some dinner. And if you don't have a boat, there's one place to go to make that happen. That's Kramer Marine and Outdoor right there at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. You can visit all their new and used inventory at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. They're a Yamaha outboard full-line dealer. They have a Yamaha Master Certified mechanic on staff. They'll even come to you to get your boat fixed. And you know what? You're tired. You don't want to fish anymore. You don't want to get out on the water. You're tired of your boat. You can sell it, and they'll take care of that entire process for you. They just take a small little fee, but you don't have to deal with any of the headaches of people not showing up. Facebook Marketplace, you just never know what you're going to get. Again, Kramer Marine and Outdoor will take care of all those needs for you. Give them a call, 850-851-0453. And then, of course, Bill Kramer GM right there, part of that mecca of car and boat dealerships, corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. They have lots of new vehicles in stocks, trucks, vans, SUVs, Corvettes, whatever it is, they've got it. They've got a great used selection as well. But new vehicles are probably the most stock they've had in a long time. And they've got express service, regular service, tires at cost. They'll make it easy. Take great care of you. Give them a call, 850-250-1403.
Skeeter.
Yeah, I didn't get to say Skeeter. Well, it's Jay's thing.
Yeah, I know.
I know. And miss it.
In memory.
In memory. Not memorandum.
Not memorandum.
Just in memory. Because he is still here. He is currently probably celebrating with some pizza, hopefully. You think he went just Little Caesars? You think he splurged?
He probably went with the Blue and Red Company.
Yes.
little 2 for $5.99 action, or it's probably $6.99.
That's a heck of a deal.
Hey, have you seen their little commercial though about like, hey, if you tip our drivers $3,
I've done it. I've done it.
We'll give you a refund, like, or maybe just waive the delivery fee, dummy, and we'll tip them a little bit more.
Yeah, that would probably work too. But it's you just keep it going. You just keep snowballing it because it keeps happening.
There you go, man.
Just take $3 off the price each time. I don't know.
Or we'll pay you to come pick it up. All righty then.
Mark, yeah.
I'll be there shortly.
That's coming.
No, they've already done that.
Oh, they're already doing it? They pay.
No, I'm not saying that they're doing it. They have done it where it's like, yeah, they'll give you like a certain amount to come pick it up. I think that might have been a COVID thing.
Gotcha.
Hey, you gotta socially distance them drivers, right?
That's true. I was thinking about this yesterday when we stopped for a quick bite to eat on the way to practice yesterday, and like, how much longer are fast food restaurants gonna last with human beings in them?
With like people going inside the fast food?
No, with like people actually like.
Oh, before we go like full
on and automation, like even like the food not being prepared by humans.
How often do we see technology mess up? So someone has to be there to fix
messed
the
up
technology.
Multiple times yesterday.
Right. I mean, so yeah, there's. They can try that, but it'll never get to that because technology needs someone to keep that in order. And I'm telling you, man, one day that internet is going to go down for more than a few hours or so.
Oh yeah,
and
everything's
it's going to
change.
be like if it lasts 2 weeks. By that 2 weeks, I mean, I remember what it was like. Hurricane Michael, bro. A lot of us didn't get it till Thanksgiving
months later. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I don't think we got it till the new year. So, it's one of those where it's kind of a nice little hiatus from it, but people start freaking out, man. And then you can like get to a point where the bank cards ain't working.
Yeah.
And
all credit card payments you take at businesses, that's all run through the internet.
Yeah.
So many people use online bill. I mean, I know I try to set up as many of that stuff as I can, but if you lose internet, all that stuff goes to pot.
How wild is it that, for years now, they've been trying to push us to, use using electronic, paying electronically for everything. How long are these banks and other organizations going to be able to charge that little $3 or 3% fee or whatever? Before it's like, all right, dude, like, why don't we just go back to cash then?
Because that's not what they want.
Exactly.
That is not.
They
want
to get those fees so they can turn $50 to $5.
And that's it. And then they can find out every single transaction you've made because cash you can't technically track.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there on a more of a conspiracy.
I mean, it's an afternoon delight.
It is.
Right?
That's why I brought it up, because we're right here in the 12 o'clock segment. But I've got a couple here. This one, some animal action and all that stuff. But giraffes, and this is from the AP News. Odd news there. Dude,
I saw some giraffes fighting on like Facebook or whatever. It might have been YouTube. I don't know. Those things in their necks, bro. What it was that I saw that led me to that, to see the giraffes fighting, was there was a person driving through like one of those drive-through safaris.
Yeah.
Is that what this is?
This
right
may
here?
be. Was it a 2-year-old? Yes. Yes. That gets picked up. Yep.
Continue on, sir. Sorry.
Well, and I want to talk about the video you sent earlier too, as well. That's near and dear to your heart.
I've been sending some pretty good videos out.
It's funny how we continue to talk about it, and they keep just popping right into our.
I'll send you the one that I sent Jay last night. That was just like meant for Jay.
Oh man, absolutely. Well,
this is our new theme song.
There you go. Giraffes nibble turns into an airborne safari adventure for Texas toddlers. So you've already seen this video. Okay, cool. I haven't watched the video. I just pulled it up. But in Glen Rose, Texas, a Texas family got a brief scare when a nibble from a giraffe turned a 2-year-old safari visit into an airborne adventure. Paisley Totten was in the bed of a pickup truck on June 1st when her family drove through the Fossil Rim Wildlife Center, where visitors can see exotic animals such as zebras, giraffes, sable antelope, and feed some of them from their car. The family had stopped to feed a giraffe when it grabbed Paisley's shirt in its mouth and lifted her several feet. Paisley's mother was in the pickup bed with her and shouted, prompting the giraffe to drop the toddler back into her arms unhurt. The video of the encounter taken from the car behind went viral. The girl's family also shot their own video. Paisley was holding the bag, and the giraffe went to go get the bag, not get her, but ended up getting the shirt to and picking her up. Jason Toten, the girl's father, told television station WKTX. My heart stopped. My stomach dropped. It scared me, Toten said. The family took the girl into the shop and bought her a toy giraffe. Park rules when the family visited allowed riding in an open truck bed as long as the adult was riding with the children. The park on Thursday changed its safety rules to require everyone to stay in the vehicles with doors closed.
Shout out to the parents here, man, because how many parents would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened, you know, and then like complaining about the place that they went to and stuff, and they're like, yeah, you know,
right.
like the giraffe, and honestly, like when you watch the video, the giraffe does like kind of pick the baby up and is like, okay, this isn't what I thought. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and he drops him right there, and like the dad seemed like he had kind of a good grasp on the baby once it started going up too. So one of those freak situations where you never can tell, you know, you never can tell if technology is going to work. You can never tell what animals are going to do, but yeah, it seems like a great place, and it looked like it did work out for everyone. So just keep your kids buckled up when you're driving around giraffes.
I like that. I like what you said, though. I mean, it could, in a world where we like to get upset at businesses when, you know, it's really things that we're putting ourselves into that situation.
It's a giraffe, bro.
Yeah. I mean, and, you know, it could have went a different way, and they were cool with it. And look, they bought her a toy giraffe at the end, and it's a story they'll have forever. And maybe, you know, giraffes will be her favorite animal, like the orca.
So when you watch the video, when they left the petting zoo or whatever it is, drive-through safari, she got a pet giraffe. She got like one of those little stuffed giraffes. So so she, you know, it didn't traumatize her at all. And then they showed videos of the giraffes fighting at the end of that video. It's like,
it changed.
Or somewhere in that video, they're like throwing their necks back at each other. It's like, you know, I never really thought about how harmful giraffes could be if they wanted to be.
If they wanted to be.
Because they seem like this, you know, such a cool animal, long neck, you know, just
peaceful,
eating leaves from the top of the trees. Kind of looking like what's the long neck brontosaurus?
Yeah. Yep.
You know, kind of like a brontosaurus, modern brontosaurus. And then, they sit there and rear that thing back and just like, oh boy, that would hurt. Imagine getting whipped by a.
Yeah, I think you'd get knocked off your feet. That's for sure.
Well, I'll say being a baby giraffe. That's what I meant to say, like you're a baby giraffe and it's time to get punished. Mom's like, boom, okay then.
Hey, you see that in all walks of life in the animal kingdom. Tell everybody about the video that you sent me earlier. I mean, that's you've been talking about trying to find a way to get a kangaroo, and that plan may backfire unless you can find a way to make sure that is always on your side.
Yeah, so this is just a couple of guys playing golf, and the guy's going to, I think, put his golf club up or what. I don't even know because it's such a quick video.
Yeah.
It's one of those 10-second
It almost looked
videos.
like he was getting close to addressing the ball when everything kind of went down.
We'll say that. He was getting close to addressing the ball, and then next thing you know, a Roo comes out of nowhere, and the guy's trying to hit him with the golf club and everything, and the Roo just takes it
Relentless.
and
Relentless.
does not stop. And did you hear that noise he was making?
Oh, my God. I was scared.
What? Did someone make this video up trying to discourage me from getting a kangaroo?
That's what I thought.
It absolutely works.
That's what I thought. You're sleeping in your bed, kangaroos, and it's whatever. And all of a sudden you wake up and the kangaroo's just looking at you.
Oh, man.
But yeah, no, I mean, it seems like it just lost its mind, and they're strong, and he's lucky.
But did he
provoke
you got to ask those questions. Like, did he provoke him? Did he maybe throw like a golf ball at him or whatever?
Like Jay did with the alligator.
Exactly. And the kangaroo's like, bro, I don't think you understand the smoke that you're about to walk into. It's not just the right hand, nor is it just the left hand. It's both of them and the feet, son. Because if they balance back there on their tail, you're done. You're done.
Moral of the story, don't cross and piss off a kangaroo.
No, man.
Because it ain't going to be good for you.
Not.
That's for sure. Luckily, we don't have a lot of roos running around here in Florida. Not yet. Not yet. You get that permit. And
once I get that permit, and then I can, hopefully, if I get that permit, then that will parlay into me getting an aquarium, a huge backyard, just like a little mini ocean. I can get me a little mini back well. Yeah, why can't we do that? Why can't we make miniature orcas? So like breed them in captivity and then let the breeder go. No, don't sell them. Don't sell them. Keep them at the aquariums and stuff for I mean, how cool would that be to see? You know, like you got the little Chihuahuas. Well, those were bred down from a bigger dog to get to a smaller dog. So breed some mini orcas. I think that would be really cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, dude. Like, what if you?
I mean, PETA may not like it, but we're not worried about PETA.
We're not
today. Not today. Yeah. No. Hey.
FSU, by the way, pouring it on 8-0 right now in the bottom of the third.
Dang. Well, that's cool. I think we're gonna sneak over to that game tomorrow. We'll see a chance for that. Well, the game's not over yet, so I don't want to jinx them. You can score a lot of quick runs in college baseball, but 8-0 through 3 is it still in the third?
It's still in the third. There are 2 outs, and how these runs are coming in. We had a single from West with the bases loaded, and then 2 back-to-back batters have been walked. So.
Gotcha.
3 ribbies right there.
I did think, and you never know because it's college baseball, but I did think, FSU did get a pretty decent draw there with Oklahoma coming out of the UConn coming out of the Norman regional with Oklahoma and Duke in that one as well. So, but hopefully they can keep it up and make some stuff happen. I've got one more we got about 5 minutes. This one will probably take about that. So this is from APnews.com. Odd news. The title of this one, this is from this morning, actually. YouTuber charged for having a helicopter blast a Lamborghini with fireworks.
Live Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I mean, baby. That's the first thing I thought of when I read that is, you got a Lamborghini driving in the game and you're in the helicopter just lighting that Lamborghini up with some fireworks. But this day and age we live in, what people will do for YouTube and TikTok and all that stuff is probably
It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank. I mean, all right, so what? Your car blew up, but it's just a prank, bro.
But the fact that you can get a helicopter and a Lamborghini and be a YouTuber, it just is, this world we live in is absolutely crazy. But diving into the story,
for science,
for science, yeah. I don't know what kind of science that is. A YouTuber who specializes in car shenanigans is facing federal charges. Again, when we see that word federal, you never really know. But anyways, facing federal charges after authorities said he directed a video in which 2 people in a helicopter blasted fireworks at a speeding Lamborghini from above. Alex Choi, 24, is charged with causing the placement of an explosive or incendiary device on an aircraft, the Department of Justice announced Thursday. If convicted, Choi faces a maximum of 10 years in federal prison. Prosecutors allege that Choi posted a video last July made without filming permits entitled "Destroying a Lamborghini with Fireworks," because that we thought was going to go well. The video has since been taken down, but authority says it shows Choi pressing a fire missiles button while 2 women on board a helicopter shoot fireworks at a sports car as it races across the desert landscape.
Whoa, women pilots do it? No, I'm just joking. Okay.
All right, Jay. Officials believe the video was taken at the El Mirage dry lake bed in rural San Bernardino County, about 60 miles northeast of downtown Los Angeles. So apparently, and that's why, how do these laws come to be where there is a law where you cannot place an explosive or incendiary device on an aircraft? Like, somebody had to do it in order for that to become a law, right? Or maybe, somebody was sitting in the law book room whatever it is, the Supreme Court or the Senate of the states, there may be somebody that tries to shoot some fireworks off a helicopter at a Lamborghini one day. We need to make sure this is a federal crime.
It's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? What came first in this case would be stupidity or the law.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. That's a tough one there. I would imagine that stupidity came first, but maybe when they started seeing helicopters and, they already knew what helicopters were capable of, I think it would more or less not be the act of going after to
well, it just sounds like they're holding the fireworks and shooting them out of it's not like it's mounted. Again, I don't know the video, but just from what I understand, it's like they're opening up the door and shooting them out the side or something like that.
I think anything dealing with explosives
in an aircraft, is just not good.
Even if you were on the ground shooting these at the Lamborghini, I think you still, You can't throw a rock at anyone. And
that's true, too.
So I think that they just like, okay, well, this is somewhat similar, so it fits into the verbiage of the law.
Well, it sounds like it would the video would have been cooler. The story would have been cooler if this was like on a street like Grand Theft Auto, like you said. This is out in the middle of a dry lake bed where there's nobody around.
But
come on, let natural selection take over.
There is that, but what if someone else is visiting that lake, though? That's, I guess, where you gotta...
I need more information.
Well, and if they would have had the permit, then possibly we're talking about that being... like, you get the permit, and then all of this kind of goes away, but that's the thing. In a lot of our young minds, we're like, why do we need a permit?
Yeah.
Like, we're just gonna do it, So
it's one of those ask for forgiveness, right?
Yeah.
Not permission. But hey, facing potentially 10 years in federal prison.
Hopefully he's got a good lawyer with all that money. I mean, if you've got the money to destroy a Lamborghini, you should be able to...
a Lambo and a helicopter.
Lawyer. Yeah.
I mean, fireworks aren't cheap either, but, a Lambo and a helicopter are certainly
I'm pretty sure you got to have pretty good high-grade fireworks to try to blow up a car.
Yeah. I would think so. I don't know if it blew up or just there's no video with this story. It's just all text. But anyway, that's the end of our Afternoon Delight debrief segment on this Friday. Florida State still up 8-0 in that one.
Let's see here. We're looking at 8-0, top 4.
There you go. Florida State off to a great start in the first game against UConn in the Super Regional over there in Tallahassee. When we get back, we'll be joined by Aaron Bearden, the owner of Instant Replay Sports Cards down there in the Stanford Station Shopping Plaza. You're listening to the Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Justin Jefferson, Minnesota has signed with the Vikings. It feels a little bit like an NBA contract. They have a rookie quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, in an offensive division. J.J. McCarthy's going to need help, and Justin Jefferson attracts double coverage, makes you roll the coverage over.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Friday. Sunny the rest of the day with a wind at 13 miles per hour out of the west-southwest and 87. Tonight, look for a light breeze and clear skies with a temperature near 74. Tomorrow, a high around 88 and sunshine. Sunday, very warm with a high of 88 and sunshine. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
It's the Dolly Southern Sweets Collection, available now only at Krispy Kreme Donuts. Sink your teeth into the chocolate cream pie, or how about the Southern favorite banana pudding pie? Or the Southern sweet peachy king cobbler. Last but not least, try the Dolly Dazzler and wash it all down with the Peachy Keen lemonade chiller. All delicious and available only at Krispy Kreme Donuts. In front of HCA Hospital on 23rd Street in Panama City and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan.
Behind some strong defense, clutch pitching, and a solid offense, this 2024 Brave squad's gearing up to make some noise in the National League.
Adam Duvall up to the plate with 2 down. He swings and hits one deep to left field. That's going to fly on back. That's going to fly on out of here.
Tonight, be here for Atlanta Braves baseball from our nation's capital as the Braves look for a division win against the Washington Nationals.
Braves coverage starts at 5:45 right after the afternoon underdogs here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
The only place to get sports betting coverage on the radio. Is this legal? Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. It's the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That's how we do it. And welcome Welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Unfortunately, no Jay Henley today, as today was the last day of his first junior camp of the summer sessions, and he was having a pizza party and some awards for this first camp, so didn't get to test our good friend's knowledge on probably some easy song that he was going to play with, the same chord pattern as most people do. But anyway, our good friend from down there at Instant Replay Sports Cards, the Stanford Station Shopping Plaza, is on the line with us. Aaron, how are you on this beautiful Friday?
Man, I'm doing well. How about you guys?
Doing good. We don't have Jay to test you on, who, played into their mid-40s and won 7 Super Bowls and all that stuff. So
married to Giselle.
Yeah, married to Giselle. Those clues were just tough, that's for sure. But speaking of tough, we got the next big break coming up on June 27th. And is the early bird special still running, or is that now off the table?
Early bird special is still running,
Sweet.
But time is running out on that. So for those of you who haven't heard, we do this big break. There's a bunch of products in it, not just cards. There's a lot of signed memorabilia. We're throwing in jerseys, signed mini helmets, signed pictures, stuff like that. You can check it out on the website. Come in the shop. Right now, there's an early bird special. We're knocking 25% off the price to get a random team in that break, but that will not last long. So definitely go check that out. It's going to be a lot of good stuff getting pulled out of there.
Absolutely. I think I'm looking at it right now. Shoot, if you're looking to get 2 teams in there, you're only spending $50 more right now than you would for one team if you don't take advantage of that early bird special. And I feel like these things have really caught some steam, and each month you do a different one, and we're getting so ever close to football season. And I believe this one has the 2023 Origins product, a 2023 Donruss, a 2021 Select, which has some great rookies in there, as well as a 2021 Encased. You mentioned a TriStar Hidden Treasure signed football mini helmet, 2 mystery signed jerseys with the JSA, PSA, or Beckett Certificate of Authenticity, and last but not least, a signed football with an 8x10 Certificate of Authenticity. So it's not just, like you said, not just cards, a lot of cool other stuff you can do, and that's obviously you can do in person. If you're in the break, you can come into the store, but there's other ways to watch the break as well, correct?
Yeah, like you said, if you've bought a spot, come in, hang out with us. We do refreshments and stuff. It happens after we close, so we lock the door, and just people who have purchased can come watch it in person. Otherwise, we do it on our Facebook page live. So you can be wherever, at home, at work, wherever you happen to be, watch it. You can watch it later on. It gets posted, so we have people that maybe work late. They get home. They watch it when they get home and see what they got.
Absolutely. It's I still think one of the best opportunities and breaks that I see around anywhere, and you guys do such a great job of offering that to everybody in our area, which is just really, and you don't even have to be here to do it either. You can take advantage of it. You've got a great way that you can just Apple Pay or however you want to do right through the website, and that's InstantReplaySportsCards.com. You'll see it right there on the website, and just get you one in there, even if you've never done it before. $75 get you in, and you're rocking and rolling. I want to talk about some of the pulls you've had lately, and the Archive Signature Series there seems to have been bringing in some cool stuff in the last few weeks. Talk about a recent card that was pulled this week, just a few days ago.
Yeah, we had a Johnny Bench 1-of-1 autograph pulled out of Archive Signatures. In addition to what we've already had come out of the same product, we had a 1-of-1 Mark McGwire autograph, a 1-of-1 Randy Johnson, 1-of-1 Nolan Ryan. So, of course, when we say 1-of-1, we mean literally the only one in the world that those guys signed of that card. So all 4 of those big names pulled right here in the shop. Fantastic product. You get 1 signed card per box. The cool thing about it, for people who maybe collected years ago and got out of it, these are the original cards. These are not cards printed in 2024 to look like, maybe cards from the 80s or 90s. Topps actually went and bought these, on eBay or at card shows or wherever, and then got the players to sign them. And they put a little stamp on them, a COA seal guaranteeing it, and they put it in a case for you already with a tamper-proof sticker and slide it in that box. And you pop it open and see who you get.
Man.
So this is a really cool version because it's only retired players. So we start talking about like Johnny Bench. It's possible you might pull a Johnny Bench, an actual 1968 Johnny Bench rookie card that's signed, or the same with Nolan Ryan. A lot of these guys, it's older cards that get pulled out of there.
If I recall correctly, I mean, the Archive Signature Series really isn't a huge, expense for what you potentially can get as well. And one of the things you guys always do, you're always beating those retail store prices.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a product you're not going to get in the retail stores. You're not going to find in, Walmart and Target and things like that. They don't carry those sorts of things. They are hobby exclusive. Awesome. So, yeah, come on in and grab yourself a box. Definitely. And, hopefully pull a big Hall of Famer autograph like that.
And I mean, just in the last few weeks, you've had some pretty fantastic ones. Is one of the ones, I think we talked about it last week, if I remember, was the actual printing plate, or what was that was super unique and pulled in your store?
Yeah, so that, I think what we were talking about was out of the last big break, which was baseball.
That's right. Right.
Yeah, one of the cards was, I believe it was Don Mattingly, and it was the printing plate used to print the card. And it was the one that was done for the black ink portion of the cards. And, yes, those are one of one. They make one printing plate for each color they use in the production of the card. When they're done printing the cards, putting the whole set together, they put those printing plates in the packs along with the rest of the cards. So you have an actual piece of the production of making those cards.
Man, that's some cool stuff. Any other new stuff? I know, since COVID, you always talk about, the release dates are kind of a moving target. Anything that else has come in this week or coming in the next week or so?
Yes. In fact, we just today had the release of 2024 Press Pass Premium Football. Now, for people who have been collecting for a while, Press Pass probably sound familiar. They were a company that specialized a lot of college football, minor league baseball, and they went out of business somewhere around 10 years ago, give or take. They have been since purchased by Leaf, and Leaf is using the designs, the logos, all that stuff, and putting out brand new 2024 Press Pass football cards. So I think you get 5 autographs and 6 metal cards, something like that, per box.
Wow.
And very affordable for the amount of cards you're getting, and that you're getting a mix of your new, young NFL stars, but also the guys who are going to be in next year's draft. A lot of your big college hopefuls.
Yeah, I was looking at here. I see one they got Travis Hunter in there, but then also they have, Bo Nix and a lot of the guys that have been drafted this year, and Shedeur Sanders is in there as well. Looks like a really, really cool, very different and unique product that they've got going.
Yeah, and using a company that's kind of been off the market for a while, they have access to some of those card designs that were, sort of fan favorites from the old Press Pass days that maybe people haven't been seeing in the last few years. So it's always neat, like when Panini bought Donruss, and they brought Donruss back out, and suddenly, people who had collected in the 80s and 90s like, oh, I remember Donruss rated rookies, and, some of these particular designs, and now Panini can use those again.
Definitely. That's just neat stuff to see it kind of come back a little bit when something went away and then somebody bringing it back. And it seems like every year more and more cool, unique, different stuff keeps coming out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. New stuff all the time. And yeah, a lot of nostalgia is really big with collectibles, not just cards. I think we've probably all seen those, like the action figures that they're putting out. They kind of look like action figures from 40 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing them for things that didn't have action figures back then. So, yeah, nostalgia is a big part of it.
Definitely. And, speaking of nostalgia, you guys don't just have trading cards there and all the different ones. You've got a great selection of memorabilia, signed baseballs, signed jerseys, all sorts of stuff. So if people are looking, not on the card side, but are looking on memorabilia, that's something you can take care of as well.
Sure. Yeah, lots of signed baseballs and, like you said, bats, footballs, helmets, jerseys, all that stuff. The non-sports cards as well. We just got in some new Marvel cards. If you were a Marvel collector.
I was a big Marvel collector back in the early 90s.
Remember the Flair cards with the paintings?
Oh, yeah.
Yep, they've just brought those back out.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I used to collect all those ones, and you try to put the picture together on the 9 cards on the pages. Yeah. And I remember the Spider-Man versus Venom, those hollow cards that were pretty cool. And that's really, I didn't dive as much into baseball as I did that at the time, just because I just liked the completion, and my OCD's always been like trying to make everything come together and finish the set and all that. And I love, Liam loves doing, obviously, sports cards, football more specifically than anything anything, but that was kind of my thing, getting those packs and ripping them open. And then I just remember finding that Spider-Man versus Venom. They had 4 cards on there, and I actually got super lucky, and 2 of them were stuck together in one of them, so I ended up getting 2 in one. So pretty cool. And they survived, and I eventually, sold them and did some different things. But cool. I had no idea that they were bringing those back. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I think Upper Deck went out and bought, because they got the Marvel license, so they bought like the companies who used to make Marvel cards, like Fleer, so that they can use those old designs and, that sort of thing. So they've been kind of dipping their toes in gradually. They were doing the cards to go along with the Marvel movies and TV shows. They've been doing that for a while. So we have, the last Doctor Strange movie and WandaVision, and some of those things they have cards for, She-Hulk and all that. But they're also doing some of the comic book based ones. So this new Flair set is kind of throwback to 94, 95 or so, when those cards were really popular.
Definitely. That's
and now throwing in the a little more value than just opening the pack and getting the cards, because now you've got your serial numbered cards. You've got cards autographed by some of the comic book artists and writers and things like that in there as well. So there's always that chance of you put a set together out of a box maybe, but you also, could potentially pull a card worth quite a bit of money.
Man, that's cool. So they're adding to what they used to do with some more, what you would call more on like the sports cards, modern collectibles with autographs and stuff like that. That's really neat. Next time I'm down there, I'll have to check out that stuff for sure. And speaking of being down at the store, it's Friday night. What do you got coming up tonight? For those who have maybe never heard about it or never had the opportunity to come by and you're looking for something fun for your kids to do this summer.
Yes, so Friday night means Kids Club here at Instant Replay. From 6 to 8, we have very affordable box breaks for the kids in the Kids Club. They open packs, they trade cards. We help them with any kind of collecting questions, showing them stuff on how to take care and preserve their cards. It's a lot of fun. They all leave with a bunch of cards. You can come in and get yourself or get your kid a Kids Club membership card. And it works like a reloadable gift card. Basically, you can put some money on it. So sometimes mom and dad come in, they get them a card. And then if the kid is staying with, grandma or staying with a friend or whatever, and they come down, they know, how much is on their card that they can spend that night if they want to get in some breaks or want to get some packs or something like that. Awesome. So it's really cool, and they can use it. Sometimes we do some things, discounted prices for kids if they have a Kids Club card. So definitely check that out. And tonight's going to be really special.
Ooh.
We've got a couple of guests coming in for Kids Club because we have been doing some tickets for giving away 2 VIP seats to next Saturday's wrestling event here in town, the XIW Chasing Gold. And tonight we're having a couple of the wrestlers come in and help us do a live drawing to see who's going to win those VIP seats.
Sweet. So if there was one to go to, tonight is the one.
Yeah, kids will get to see the wrestlers up close and in person. And, giving away VIP seats. VIP comes with a meet and greet for the wrestlers. You can get in early and get some photos and things. I think they feed you at the XIW event as well if you're a VIP, and you get ringside. So it's going to be a big event. I was talking with the owner a couple of days ago. Man, they got a big 8-man gauntlet match. They're going to be looking for a new heavyweight champion out there. The middleweight champion, a guy named Bubba Shaddix, is going to be there putting his title on the line. They got a bounty out to eliminate one of the guys, Damian Wayne from Pro Wrestling. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You can come down here, get yourself a ticket for the drawing, get 2 free VIP seats. They are the only VIP seats left. It is sold out.
Man, there you go. So if you want to go to it in VIP style, head over to Instant Replay tonight for Kids Club. And speaking of Kids Club and being a parent myself, your birthdays come and you're trying to figure out what to do for birthday parties and those kind of things. And I don't think a lot of people think about having the kids are so into cards nowadays and sports cards and all of that. And a lot of people don't realize that you have the opportunity to host a birthday party there at Instant Replay.
Absolutely. We love doing parties. Doesn't have to be a birthday, any kind of event. You can check it out on our website. We have space for up to like 10 people, 10 guests. And you come in and we can do box breaks and trading and all that sort of stuff. We've done a lot of kids' parties where kids come in, mom and dad pick out a few boxes they want to purchase, and we do breaks with the kids. They get their teams, their divisions, And we open up a lot of product. And sometimes the kids leave with some great cards.
Yeah.
Which is a cool thing, because if you're a parent, you send your kid to a birthday party.
Yep, you get
and
the
generally, if they bring something home, it's
pencils
going to be something that makes noise or, gets thrown away. It's kind of cool to send them to a party and they come home and like, hey, Mom, I went to, Jimmy's party and I got this card that's worth $150.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that part alone is, I think, pretty cool stuff there, that's for sure. And then, of course, before we got to go and give away some Braves, an opportunity to win some Braves tickets, remind everybody what you have tomorrow, Saturday, and your normal 12 o'clock break.
Yeah, 12 o'clock every Saturday. We do in-store group breaks live in person. Come in at 12, get in on the fun. We open a lot of hobby boxes. We'll open anything that people here want to do, but traditionally the simplest way to talk about it is, say it's a baseball product, 6 people buy in. There's 6 divisions in baseball. We draw for it. Everybody gets a random division. Open the box up. You get all the cards from that division. So we like to do a lot of products, a lot of autographs, a lot of numbered cards. People leave with a lot of cool stuff every week. We had like C.J. Stroud autos come out, Brock Purdy autos.
Yeah, buddy.
A lot of great baseball hits. So, yeah, it's just a fun time. Come down. We start at Saturday at noon, and it goes as long as people want to keep opening stuff up.
There you go. And that's all. Instant replay right down there in the Stanford Station Shopping Plaza. Don't forget, if you want to get in on the next big break on the 27th, you've got to get in now, and you'll save 25%, only $75 for a spot. Might as well buy yourself 2. It's only $50 more than doing the normal price. So we appreciate you as always, Aaron, and we'll talk to you next week. And looking forward to the big break coming up in a few weeks.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys have a good one. Everybody out there, take care. We'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you, Aaron. We appreciate your time. All right, David Hayes, it is time, the last time this week on the Inside Drive, one more time on the Afternoon Underdogs, but it is the 7-year send-off presented by ESPN Northwest Florida. Our 7-year anniversary is coming up on June 17th. We're looking for the 10th caller. You'll automatically be entered to win a sweet qualifying prize, and today that is a Dave & Buster's swag bag, T-shirt, and another Swampy Jack's $10 gift card. Give us a call, 850-215-6290. Then you'll be entered to win the grand prize over there, the 7-year send-off sweepstakes. That's going to include hotel, spending cash, food and beverage at the game against the Toronto Blue Jays on Saturday, September 7th. And you're going to have some amazing seats there at the Xfinity Club. We've already had a few people do it, but you can get qualified as many times as you are willing to enter the contest. We appreciate PCB Hobby, Fairfield Inn, Hampton Inn on Thomas Drive, and Home to Suites for sponsoring the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back with our winner today, and then Shannon Richmond will be joining us shortly from the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hales Show.
Not have to go downtown, not have to go across the bridge and fight with all the traffic. David Adamson Jewelry, Highway 77.
How many hours is the show? Hey, I mean, can we get to the point?
You asked him a question.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to get a recital.
I'm not done yet either.
Weekday mornings 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
You hear it first. Sports talk right now. Back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
I know it seems a bit overwhelming at first.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
Something makes me think you'll get used to it.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Automatically winning a Dave & Buster's swag bag t-shirt and a $10 gift card to our good friends over there at Swampy Jack's, and now entered to win the 7-year send-off, which we'll be announcing the winner on June 17th. We've got Matt on the line. Matt, congratulations for being our 10th caller today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Longtime Braves fan?
Absolutely.
There you go. There you go. How long have you been here in our area?
So born and raised Panama City.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. I never like to assume anything. Have you been up to Truist Park, the new park, before?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I try to make a trip every year, so.
Definitely. Not too far to get up there, and this would be a cool way to do it, that's for sure. What are your thoughts so far on the Braves season? It's very, very different than last season, of course, with everything that was going on. A little more turmoil and some injuries and a little more parity this year. But what do you think about we're about a third of the way through the season, All-Star break coming up here in a couple months, and what do you think? What do you think so far?
Yeah, I mean, just the injuries hurt a little bit, but I think we're we're in second place in the division, so.
Yes.
And the Phillies are really hot, so hopefully they'll slow down a little bit. We can make up some ground.
The good news is, besides the Phillies, the rest of the division is not so great right now. So, but hey, anything could change, and you can go on a run. But if you win the contest, who are you going to bring up there?
I'll probably bring my son and
nice.
I don't know, maybe a couple of buddies.
There you go. A fun trip, nonetheless. That's for sure. And but congratulations on qualifying again. You just come by the studio. I think David's probably already got your information, so you'll be good to go. And have a great weekend here in our beautiful Bay County.
You as well.
I appreciate it,
guys.
Yeah, appreciate you listening and tuning in. And again, you can qualify as many times as you want, David Hayes.
Yeah, man, pretty cool stuff. We've got 2 multi-qualifiers to this point. Coach Olds has got it twice, and then Paul, who was looking for the hat trick. I think he told me when I seen him the other day that he was caller number 9 for the afternoon underdog. So he was very close to getting the trifecta, getting the little hat trick there.
Man, that would be a feat in itself. That would be worthy of another prize, that's for sure. I think I just let Shannon in, so we'll get her set up and get her in the studio with us here and talk a little bit about the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce. Shannon, you just come on in. I'm gonna put you on the spot and ask you some questions, but knowing you, you're gonna know all the answers right off the top of your head there. That's for sure. Let's see, right and left. Yep, there you go, right there.
Thank you.
And just get close to Mike. Welcome in. How are you doing?
I've never been here. This is awesome.
You haven't been here before? No. Awesome. Well, welcome. I figured, we do the Panama City Beach new members and all that stuff all the time, and might as well have you in and talk about the chamber for our last few minutes here this week.
Perfect.
So obviously, you've been with the chamber for a long time, vice president and the director of membership. You do an absolutely fantastic job keeping people informed. But with your opportunity here on the air, the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce, every area has Chamber of Commerce, but what makes the PCB Chamber so special?
Oh my gosh, everything. It's the people. So,
absolutely.
So we have currently right at 1,600 members.
Massive.
And
that's awesome.
That's so huge. And we say members do business with members, and we absolutely mean it.
Yeah.
So we go all the way from St. Joe all the way to Port St. Joe to Fort Walton and anything in between. We do have members that are outside of that area, but that's really as far as we drive to do grand opening and ribbon cuttings. But I think our ambassadors are what's a huge help to our success as well, because they're always out there helping the members, seeing what they can do. And again, members do business with members. So
absolutely. I mean, and it's, the chamber, not only is it a big chamber, but, you talked about the ambassadors, but there's a lot of other, I'm going to call them like subgroups or other groups of the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce. Talk about some of those, because, if you want to join the chamber, obviously joining the chamber is a huge thing. You can come to events and all that stuff, but there's a lot of other groups within the chamber that are very active as well.
So as you know, we have ambassadors. We probably have around 200 ambassadors.
That's awesome.
I would say 100 of them are really, really active at different times. Today we also had a YP, which is Young Professionals. It's anyone 21 to 40. It's a great networking group, and as Anna, she runs that one. And the way she likes to describe it is, you're not in there with everybody that you might not know. You start small, make all these connections with these people, then you come to business after hours, you already have a ton of friends, and then your business just grows.
Definitely. And that's something that, when Hurricane Michael and COVID and all that stuff happened, kind of, I don't want to say put on the back burner, but it just wasn't really rocking and rolling. It's got up and running in the last year or so, right?
And they have over 100 people
It went from
already.
the ground floor to the top floor in the matter of minutes.
She does a great job with it. She's got Derek Malnar that helps her with it, and they're killing it. They're making so many connections, and they're our future.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to see what they're doing in the business.
Well, and we talk about that all the time with sports, with golf and other things. If you're not filling that pipeline of future people, and this is, chamber members and active chamber members, because the chamber is not the chamber without the people. And I think you did a great job saying that, because it's people helping people. And what's the motto of the Panama City Beach Chamber? It's reaching Bay County and beyond. So don't get fooled that it's the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
It's really a chamber of commerce for our whole area here.
Absolutely. And the way we're growing just should show you what we're doing. If you're just sitting on your tail doing nothing, you're not going to get the business. You're not going to help that business. You're not going to have members be able to visit. But we do so many different things to make those touches, to make sure we're staying connected. So it's not like you write a check and you never see us again.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you talk about the membership. What are some of the big benefits? Obviously, the networking and growing your business and the touches, but what are some of the other benefits that the Panama City Beach Chamber provides?
So you get to come to all the business after hours, Friday at the beach, lots of networking. But actually, ESPN's part of our perk package, which really is great, because when somebody first signs up, it's an expense.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, I need to do this, that, and the other. Well, ESPN buys them 100 30-second commercials for free.
Absolutely.
And it's not on a midnight.
Yeah.
It's on day, whenever. And so that really puts that member out in the forefront, in front of everybody, not just our members.
Absolutely. It's one of those partnerships, people helping people.
That's right.
No doubt about that. And you talk about a lot of the big events that you guys have. Some of them already happened this year, the annual awards dinner, the Jam on the Coast 5K. But what are some of the other big ones coming up that people can get involved in?
So we have a ladies only women's series. It's a 4-part series. We're on
David.
Sorry, David, you're out. So we're on number 2, which will be June 11th.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother topic.
Listen, we even had guys actually register to meet women. We're like, no, for ladies.
Hey, maybe there's an idea out there that we can work on.
Only for ladies. But then we have our women's symposium, which is 350 ladies.
That's one of the big ones, right?
That's one of the guys can go to that, but not really to attend. They can work the booth for the ladies.
They
get to see the ladies. So we do tons of different events. So it's going to have 350 ladies. It's going to be a shopping experience. We're going to have 3 speakers. It's just very motivational for women. So we have the women's symposium coming up. Always our after hours. Those are always really well attended.
Absolutely.
And then at the end of the year, we have our marathon, which brings people from all over to run that marathon.
Huge.
It's a Boston qualifier.
Yeah, this is awesome.
We get a ton of people on that. We have Idea Camp.
I was going to mention that one. One of my favorite ones you guys do so many different ones, but I think one of the most beneficial ones that you can do as a chamber member, if you're trying to grow your business, trying to get more connections, is and just try to learn from different people in the area that are very successful and smart. The Idea Camps are a great way to do that.
What I love about that is we only put an invite out for 50, because you can meet 50 people in one day.
Yeah.
And what we do is we have a little bit of networking, then we have a program, and then if we have time, we turn it into a think tank. So if there's something in business that somebody's just really struggling with, they can ask that question there. Somebody's already done it and can show them the shortcut.
Yeah,
or they may have the answer.
Yeah.
And we give away a round trip ticket on Southwest Airlines every time. Every single
Great partnership there with Southwest, no doubt about it. Someone's going away with a round home ticket every time.
Every time. And we switched our idea camp for this month. We did it in the morning, and it went really well.
Absolutely.
So, Wednesday's church. So Wednesday night is hard for some to come or even go to work, and even with our sponsors. So we did a morning one, and it was really well received. So we may start popping some of those in and some of the times.
Yeah, no, I saw that, change it up a little bit, and and Wednesdays a lot of times we have our board meetings and that kind of stuff. So to have an opportunity to go in the morning to an idea camp is certainly a really, really cool thing. Now, if somebody wanted to, they're not a member of the chamber, maybe they're a new business, or they made their business for a long time, and they're looking to take that next step, what's the best way for them to sign up for the Panama City Beach Chamber?
Listen, I put my cell phone out there everywhere.
Absolutely.
They can call me because we can have a conversation, because we want to make sure that we are a benefit to you. We don't want you just to sign up and write a check and never show up.
Absolutely.
So they can call me on my cell phone. They can email me. They can even look at what our events are and maybe come as a guest one time.
Definitely.
And so if they come as a guest, they pay $15 to come as a guest if they've never been, and then we apply that $15 when they join, so they don't lose anything, and they've already been able to check us out.
Absolutely. What's the best website to find out all this information on?
PCBeach.org, and beach is spelled out.
Yep.
We have a brand new, did you see our new website?
I did. We've been part of that exciting stuff.
Yes.
And, it's just such an active, I've worked in many different areas in the East Coast, and I've never seen a chamber as active and energetic as the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce, and you see that through all the people that work with it, and it's just...
We have a blast. We're small but mighty. We have 7 of us, but each of us know what we're supposed to be doing, and we're making it happen, and we're just connecting.
Yeah. And I think the golf tournament is obviously a little near and dear to my heart, being there at Bay Point Golf Club. But that's probably, they're all fun, but I know a lot of people really, that thing sells out in probably, a couple weeks after you release the dates?
2 or 3 days. And it's not one day now, it's 2 full days. Somebody's like, do it 3 days, but that puts too much stress on our sponsors who are out there at the holes.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's a fantastic event. We already have it halfway sold out for next year. From everybody that was there this year, give me 2 teams next year.
Yep, and that Friday day seems to be a little more popular. I'm sure that one fills up first before the Thursday
it's
day.
funny because the people that really have to get back to work play on Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah, but the ones that like to have a little more fun, they play on Friday because they're done for the
absolutely,
weekend.
Absolutely. A great event nonetheless, no doubt about that. But,
and you know what else we have? We have a leads group.
Yes.
That meets for lunch. And we don't have one, we have 3 leads groups because it's only 1 per industry, and we try to keep it about 20-25 per group. And all 3 of those groups are doing such a great job. And it's sort of like a little chamber inside of our chamber because we're so large. We break down a lot of small things, so you get this. And they're thriving.
Absolutely. And you got the 12 at 12.
12 at 12 where new members can come in, and it's just a really laid back, meet everybody. We try to keep it 1 per industry. We won't invite 10 of the same industry. And then that way it's a touch that you may never have without coming to the 12 at 12.
Well, and I like what you said there too, laid back. There's a lot of the events. And if you just moved to this area, you just started a business, things can be overwhelming, and you got to put yourself out there. But the Panama City Beach Chamber has so many different things to kind of get your intro into that. But like you always say, you can get as much out of the Panama City Beach Chamber as you want to put into it.
Absolutely. Some people will say, listen, there's no chance I can ever come to anything. What's my benefit?
Yeah.
Well, A, I'm going to buy you all that advertising in the beginning.
Yep.
B, I'm going to add you to my website. And C, we're going to refer you.
Yeah.
So the ones that are like, I'm not real sure. But if you start attending events, that's like adding fuel to fire.
Absolutely. Great benefits there from the Panama Chamber of Commerce. Shannon, I appreciate you coming in today and talking a little bit about the chamber. I'm glad you had the opportunity to do it, and looking forward to seeing some of the new members come in and all that good stuff. But we got the end of the show coming up here in about 30 seconds. David was still 9-1, Florida State, UConn.
9-1, yes, sir.
All right.
Pouring it on.
Moving into the, looks like the top of the 6th?
Top 6, yes, sir.
And there you go. Those Seminoles are trying to have an opportunity to close out the Super Regional tomorrow and make a trip out there to the College World Series in Omaha. Don't forget the Braves 7-year send-off contest. You got one more opportunity this week. That's going to be this afternoon on the Afternoon Underdogs at 5:40 with David Hayes and all the rest of those crews out there. And, you know, you can qualify as many times as you want. So
keep them calls coming in.
It just takes that lucky time to slide into that 10th spot. But we appreciate you tuning in this week. We'll have Jay back full-time on Monday. Looking forward to that. You've been listening to The Inside Drive. Y'all have a great weekend. Get out there and catch some snapper.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdogs.
I hate to say it, but Oklahoma, you know, people hate dynasties. You win too much and people get